I think the exposures that we've got, the experiences that we've had since December has been a really, a very important part of this team's development. Like you mentioned, there are a lot of youngsters, so I think it was good for us to have the sort of international matches, practice matches and international friendlies to prepare us for the major tournaments like the CEF and the second round of Olympic qualifiers. So I think, and a huge credit to the girls as well to step up, to own up that responsibility, to be a younger side with a lot of expectations going into CEF. I think everyone owned up to their part really well, and that's why we could get the result that we did in the CEF and Olympic qualifiers. So we don't know the final teams that are going to be participating, but we obviously, since we played last year also in the COTIF Cup, we know there are a lot of high standard of clubs from Spain that participate. There are few international teams also who participate, and we know overall that the standard of football is going to be really high. With the last year's experience, we didn't win any match there, so for us, our focus is to win a few matches there and get a good result, because we've got a good exposure and good number of matches since December, so we are definitely at a level higher than what we were previously, and that's the reason why we have a lot of expectations going into this tournament this time. I think it's very important because we got good results in CEF and the Olympic qualifiers. That's why we got a lot of media coverage. There were a lot of talks about the future of this team and how we couldn't be playing in the World Cup sooner than maybe the men's side. So I think that's brought in a lot of responsibility and exposure for us, for the whole team. And I think to grow women's football in India further, it's our responsibility to keep performing really well, keep getting good results, and to have that sustainable interest, and that's how we're going to be putting Indian women's football on the map, and we keep getting more sort of investment from the private sector and grow this women's football further in India. In the COTIF, we know that it's going to be a very physical and greater intensity of matches, because that's the kind of football that's played in Europe, and we want to be playing, because we saw the standard of football, how much is improved in the recently concluded World Cup as well, and that's the platform that we want to achieve. And these are the small steps that we need to be taking. We need to be doing well in the COTIF Cup, where we play the local clubs there from Spain, and that's the standard that we want to achieve. That's the step up for us, and that's our focus. I mean, everyone knows Megan Rapinoe was the face of Women's World Cup this time, and and a huge credit and a huge respect from my side to all the players of the US Women's National Team to be standing up for what they believe in, and to use that platform, such a huge opportunity and a platform to put forward their points alongside performing really well on the field. So I think a huge credit to them. That shows a lot of character and the mental strength that they have to be doing that on the pitch as well as off the pitch. So I think they are the inspirations of the whole team. But apart from that, for me, Carli Lloyd has been an inspiration to me. I've read her autobiography, and she's just an incredible human being. Coming from nothing, she's achieved everything that she could as a women footballer. Well, we can't compare the two of them, because not just Thailand, because there were other Asian teams as well. Australia did really well. Japan has been a World Cup winner, so we can't say that the gap is vast. It's just that this time Japan and South Korea had a lot of youngsters. A lot of Japan players had retired after the previous World Cup, and that's why they had a very young team. And that's the reason why they couldn't get the result that they expected, or we all expected as Asians. But I think there are few really good teams like Japan, South Korea, North Korea in fact is also really good. So I don't think there's a huge gap between the standard of football in Europe and Asia. At least if we compete the top ranked teams of Asia. So obviously we need to step up with it. It's the physicality. I think the major difference what I saw in the World Cup compared to US and the other teams was the mental strength. Ultimately it came down to obviously your fitness was a level up compared to all the other teams, but the most important thing what I felt was the mental strength that they had to be going through everything that they were going through against their president off the field, and then doing that on the pitch, winning the World Cup, to be suing their own federation. It's a huge thing for players to be dealing with so many things while a major tournament is going on. I think a huge credit to them, and that just shows how focused and how bold they are about everything. Yeah, I think it's a huge opportunity for Indian women's football, especially when we're hosting the Under-17 World Cup. I think it could be a huge change for how women's football is seen in India, and I'm sure that the team has been performing really well. They've got a few international matches under their belt now. I think in the last month, and they've got some really good results. They're going to be joining back as a team again soon, and it's now time for them to step up and play more competitive matches against higher ranked teams. I think those are the results that will give us a clearer picture as to where we stand and what to expect from them in the World Cup. But I think overall, I'm sure they've been told the responsibility that these young girls have, and I'm sure they're putting in their hard work. We've not seen them play, but I can only imagine that they're doing everything that they can to put Indian women's football on the map, because it's a huge platform for us. Well, maybe there is a level playing field. We're talking about the Under-17 World Cup, and if we do manage to reach the knockout stages, it'll be a huge, apart from comparing them with the men's side, I think it'll be a huge thing for women's football in India in general, and it will get us a lot of respect, a lot of recognition and attention that we deserve, and I think that will be a huge benefit for all the age groups and for women's football in general in India. Well, there have been a few interests, but I'm not sure at this point in my career if I would be going back or playing abroad in any club, because I'm enjoying being part of the national team. We've been getting a lot of, as one of the senior players, there's a lot of responsibility on me as well, and I'm enjoying the kind of role that I am in here, and now that I've started my own football academy also, so I just want to make sure that I'm I'm contributing back to women's football and trying to grow and provide a platform for more girls to pursue their passion. Of course, I think it will be a huge, a great experience, a great benefit if they do come back to India and share that experience with youngsters. I think it will be a big help and a big push to promote women's football and improve the standard of women's football. And I would encourage anyone and everyone who gets that opportunity to grab onto it and get that experience, go out there and see the world, see what kind of standard it is abroad, and try and match up to that standard and see what it takes to get there. I think that's a huge plus point, and I would encourage everyone to go for it whenever they can. Thank you.